Watch the real-life program about exceptional destinies, remarkable opportunities, and unbelievable facts right now.
Geckos, salamanders, spiders. There's also a fish kingdom. A rock climber and designer, he makes elite housing for the pets by himself, collects shirts, and from different countries. There are a lot of hobbies, including animals, but the equipment, interiors, and design. Stop will never happen, never stop. But doesn't develop any further when you know everything about it and you switch and you begin to be quite keen on it. Sergey Bukhantsov, hobby hunter. A man and a spider. What is in common between them? To escape from a life in the aquarium. And how not to drown in a ton of hobbies. In the foothills of Almaty, Carbine Insurance rocks. It is one of his hobbies and the main profession of Sergey, industrial mountaineering. Here, those who have got sick with mountains come to his training rock. We train in this place. This is Butukovka. The mountain here is specially prepared. We study, train, and we get skills. Technology of uphill gradients and downhill. Training of non-staff situations, first aid to the injured. Anyone who steps on this rope has to know, and he'll be able to do all this. The mountain looks like as if it was entangled in a web. He is a Spider-Man. By the way, Sergey can talk about spiders for hours. This hobby appeared recently. It already has a web, and it allows it to catch victims at the same time to feel them. So Sergey was caught in a spidery net and has joined a group of keepers of fancier spiders. At first, he bought one, and his nursery has expanded. Bird spiders, 7 types. Here are some interesting facts. The spider's olfactory organs are in its legs. The spider determines by the extremities what product has appeared in its web, edible or not. By the way, the bird spider spins 12 different types of web. Sergey says that in Kazakhstan, the market for spidery exotics has chosen all types. Also, it's so turned out that all of them are females, and they live up to a quarter of a century. They can't complain on comfort, however. The temperature, humidity, everything is considered. Heavenly spots for these exotic animals that live by the creation of Sergey himself. My friends always laugh when we leave to go to nature. I walk and grab some stones and sticks. I look what is there, what fractures, crumbs, so that it will be more interesting in color. Each snag is washed out and dried, then boiled for many hours in salty water and then again in usual water. This is the whole science. Otherwise, bacteria will be nested there. But the design, including the aquarium, is first of all a state of mind, Sergey says. There is the bridge. These are the bamboo pieces. Up to that point, the back wall is made of foam plastic pack under the refrigerator. I took a soldering iron, I cut it all out, soldered and painted it. Here are some racks made by Sergey. Square bottles are perfect. Friends brought them. But for a spider, the main thing is atmosphere. When something disturbs them, they begin to scratch, and these hairs are sprayed by the air. When it goes in the human skin on mucus, the person begins to scratch. It feels just like I had lowered my hand into glass wool. And still, he has canines and poison. It can be dangerous, especially if the person has an allergy. Spiders have bitten Sergey, but it's okay. 4 hours, I just didn't feel my hand, but over all this time, the sting swelled up. Spiders are like people. Everyone has their own character, Sergey says. This is Lola, quiet and quite calm. Now, however, she's not in the mood. She can bite. Come on. Come on, girl. Despite the name, these spiders don't eat birds, they prefer insects. Here, please, in the kitchen, where it's also necessary, stocks of live provisions are kept here. Sergey breeds cockroaches. How? He learned according to books. This spider, no, it doesn't get out. It has teeth and a third of centimeter, so-called hilitzer. The internet and literature for a long time became conductors. An award is the excellent health of the lodgers themselves. Sergey says that he feels huge pleasure watching their lives. As they move, they spin funnels from the webs as they dig tunnels. They wash like cats, brush their teeth, and scratch their pads. Sergey has no end of worries. It takes at least 1 hour to feed all the creatures in the house. They're also fish. Cleaning an aquarium, changing the water, it's already no longer a hobby, but a lifestyle. Fish are very interesting. They have an intellect. Astronautus is a very clever fish. It rejoices in its master's presence, swims up to the glass and demands to be stroked. Disliking all the others, if you stroke it, as a rule, it'll end up with a bite. And this is one more surprising creation. Well, here it is, Polypterus. The Senegalese Polypterus, or dragonfish, its habitats are India and Africa. In the wild, it reaches up to 50 centimeters. Long liver, it lives well up to 30 years. One of those rare fish which can be tamed and take food from the owner's hands with pleasure. And also Garinich, as he is called at home, likes to lean out of an aquarium to breathe. He needs it psychologically, Sergey says. He managed to escape sometimes. Once it was caught under a rack. It was necessary to make a cover. In totaling, in this amazing house, there are 7 aquariums and more than 40 species of fish. Among them are a lot of unique specimens. The aquarium is such a peculiar world, a small world. There is chemistry, physics, and biology, all this in one. That is why I'm also fond of it. Bikes, leather jackets, and tattoos, a game in the bad guys already over. With age, attributes of a carefree life found rest and became almost museum pieces in Sergey's house. This leather biker jacket is 18 years old, made of real thick skin. I even fell off a motorbike in it, and it wasn't even scratched, not even torn. Equipped in all leather, guests are welcomed by Johnny. More not mobile, but a rather stationary biker. One more hobby finds hardly any space in the wardrobe, a shirt fetish. This is one brought from Bali. This is from the rock musician for playing golf, and all are from different countries. So far, there are 51 pieces, and in the world there are 197 countries, so it's necessary to prepare space for 140 more. This shirt is from Thailand, totally handmade. I put it on once for an exhibition. I went in it to Germany for professional development. Modeling. On numerous shelves, there is only a small part of which was made by Sergey. The rest is in the basement, waiting for the exhibition hour. The culling is enhanced for each model, as it was. There's a lot of information searched on the internet, checked, what camouflage, where it should be. It comes up to the tanks, which are from a certain fight in World War II by the Germans, and there was some damage. Glues, cuts, soldiers, paint. Long winter evenings, the hobby hunter doesn't spend a lot of time in front of the TV. He selects and processes materials, for example, pieces of tarpaulin, sticks and dirt. There was an idea to make a peculiar fight, to simulate or begin to be fond of a diorama. That is such a thing. The basis is made of plaster here, and from above it is real earth. The grass, you won't believe, is dried fennel. Military equipment, camouflage, army boots. Sergey's childhood has passed on the outposts. His parents were border guards. He was even in the Pamirs, and it is 5,000 meters above sea level. The Martian landscape and not many of the same age, but more than enough entertainment. All were memorable. At the age of 11, I jumped with my father with a parachute for the first time. I've ridden all military equipment of those times. I even rode as a passenger in an Su-27 fighter, as a military intelligence agent. His father taught him, he says, to shoot from everything that shoots in an army arsenal. He went hunting together with his father and took a ride on a horse. Again, this hobby of modeling is a little at the suggestion of my father. As a boy, I glued huge models of ships. He's proud of his father and ancestors. The family of hereditary Kazakhs stood at the origins of the city Verny, nowadays Almaty. His great-grandfather was twice the hero of the Soviet Union. This rank was received by only 154 people. A monument to the hero is established in Panfilov Park in Almaty. Only I didn't go to a frontier guard school or academy because there was the collapse of the Soviet Union. At that time, I had a child already. It was necessary just to feed my family, so I had to go to work. During the winter, Sergey collects about 4 to 5 models and wants to place all this under glass so that the strategy of the fight is visible. He says the fire of his hobby will hardly die away. If you take a normal model, it doesn't look so accurate, so they make fake damage. That is plastic, that you bend it, shrapnel there, where the shell can get in. That's in the fight. All this is scanned, all this is drawn by paint. So it's necessary to explain to the 1-year-old daughter that is not a toy. As well as models of towers, these are the first 3D puzzles. Very fascinating designs for adults, Sergey says. The guitar is near the spidery lodges. By the way, playing string instruments is possible to entice a spider from its shelter. And not because spiders are music lovers, just they react to vibrations that is necessary to check the production for a web for a signal. Fencing is also quite logically interwoven into a web of interest for Sergey. He's a master of sports in this sport, but perhaps his most important hobby is searching for new hobbies. Enjoy life to the full, walk out without fear, and develop yourself.